Hi everyone! In today's video, I'm going to show you how to measure temperature, humidity, and atmospheric pressure in Home Assistant using a tiny ESP32 C6 and a couple of very cheap sensors. This project is perfect for beginners. It's simple, fast, and costs less than $5. We'll connect the sensors, flash ESPHome, add everything to Home Assistant, and get live readings on your dashboard. If you've ever wanted to build your own smart home weather station, this is the easiest way to start. Let's begin. All my previous Home Assistant projects were created on my main HA installation, which is quite advanced and heavily customized. But since this video is designed especially for beginners, I want to make the experience as realistic as possible. That's why, for this tutorial, I'm starting completely from scratch on a fresh, clean installation of Home Assistant. This way, you'll see every step exactly as a new user would, without anything pre-configured or modified. We'll start by installing the ESPHome add-on. This is the tool that will let us configure, flash, and manage our ESP32 C6 directly from Home Assistant. So let's head to the add-on store and install ESPHome first. Once ESPHome is up and running, we can move on to adding our device. So let's open ESPHome and start the process of creating a new configuration for our ESP32 C6. There are a few ways to do this. We can add it over the network, use the web installer, or flash it directly through USB for this tutorial. I'm choosing the simplest method, flashing the ESP32 through the USB port of the computer I'm working on. After the initial setup or prepare for first use, we can enter our Wi-Fi network, name, and password. This is what allows the ESP32 to connect to Home Assistant wirelessly. In the logs, we can see that the module successfully connects to our Wi-Fi access point. This means the board is now online and ready for the next steps. Now we need to click Take Control to allow ESPHome to manage and update the device locally. Even though we already entered our Wi-Fi details earlier, ESPHome asks for them again. I'm not sure why this happens, maybe it can be skipped, but in my case, I simply typed the credentials once more. Once we've entered all the information, we confirm the installation of the new configuration and wait for the flashing process to finish. ESPHome will compile the firmware and upload it to our ESP32. This may take a minute or two, so just be patient and let it complete. At this point, our module is connected to the network and ready for further sensor setup. Next, let's add our first temperature and humidity sensor, the AHT10. This sensor communicates over the I2C protocol, which means it uses just two data lines, CA and SCL. The AHT10 offers good accuracy with typical temperature precision of plus or minus 0.3 degrees Celsius and humidity accuracy of around plus or minus 2%. It's a reliable and low-power sensor, perfect for simple environmental monitoring. The ESP32 C6 offers great flexibility when it comes to configuring its pins. Most GPIOs can be reassigned to different functions, which makes it easy to adapt the board to various sensors and communication protocols. For the AHT10 connection, we use pin 4 for the SDA line and pin 5 for the SCL line. And we must remember to power the sensor from the 3.3 volts pin, not 5 volts. Now we move on to assembling everything on a universal breadboard. First, connect the 3.3 volts supply and GND to the power rails on the sides of the board. These rails will distribute power to all components in the circuit, making the wiring clean and easy to follow. With the power rails ready, we can attach the communication bus. SDA goes to pin 4 and SCL goes to pin 5, following the layout we prepared earlier. Now we move on to writing the program for our ESP32 C6. First, we define an I2C bus, giving it an ID and specifying the pins for SDA and SCL in this case. SDA on pin 4 and SCL on pin 5. We also enable scanning so that the ESP can detect devices automatically. Next, we define our AHT10 sensor. We assign it to the I2C bus we just created and specify the variant as a AHT10. We give names to the temperature and humidity sensors for Home Assistant and set the update interval to 15 seconds. This simple YAML code will make the ESP32 read temperature and humidity from the AHT10 and send the data to Home Assistant every 15 seconds. Once the YAML code is ready, we save it and install the configuration onto our ESP32. This time, we'll choose to upload the firmware over Wi-Fi. At this point, I want to give you a quick warning about YAML formatting. As you can see, the compiler returned an error because there were too many spaces in the code. Be very careful with indentation. Even a small mistake can prevent your program from compiling correctly. Now we can see that the program has been successfully uploaded. Our ESP32 is working correctly, and we are receiving accurate temperature and humidity readings from the AHT10 sensor. Now, we just need to add our ESP32 module to Home Assistant. It's automatically detected, so all we have to do is click Add. Now we're going to take control of our dashboard so we can customize it freely. This step allows us to switch from the automatically generated view to one that we can design ourselves. Once we do that, we'll be able to rearrange elements, add new cards, and build a layout that truly fits our project. Next, we'll create a simple interface using the available Home Assistant tools to display temperature and humidity readings, along with their historical graphs. This will give us a clean and clear way to monitor the sensor's performance over time. Now we'll move on to connecting our second hybrid sensor, the AHT20 combined with the BMP280 pressure module. This setup will allow us to measure humidity, temperature, and atmospheric pressure at the same time using a single compact board. Just like before, we'll use the same communication bus, so wiring will be very similar. All that changes are the sensor IDs, and the configuration we'll add later in ESPHome. In this updated configuration, we're expanding our setup to read data from two separate I2C buses. The first bus remains dedicated to the AHT10 sensor, while the newly added second bus handles both the AHT20 and the BMP280. Each bus receives its own SDA and SCL pin assignments, allowing the sensors to operate independently without address conflicts. We've also added two new sensor blocks. The AHT20 is configured similarly to the AHT10, but uses the second I2C bus and has a different update interval. Below it, the BMP280 is initialized on the same bus, using its default I2C address. This block provides both temperature and atmospheric pressure measurements, with oversampling enabled for improved accuracy. Together, these additions extend our system to support multiple sensors while keeping the configuration organized and easy to maintain. Now we upload our updated configuration over Wi-Fi, and ESPHome will automatically compile and send the new firmware to our device. After the configuration has been uploaded, we can see in the log window that data from both sensors is being read correctly. The next step is to add these sensors to our Home Assistant dashboard so we can visualize temperature, humidity, and pressure readings in real time. The BMP280 sensor also includes a temperature sensor, so we'll add that reading to our dashboard as well. As we can see, all the sensors show similar temperature readings, but the humidity values are significantly different. At first, I thought the discrepancy was due to a faulty sensor and assumed the AHT10 was overestimating. I even tested a second set of both sensors, and unfortunately, the differences were similar. After reading many user reviews and test reports, it appears that the AHT20 provides the correct humidity readings, while the AHT10 tends to have a large error. To summarize, we've successfully measured temperature, humidity, and atmospheric pressure using an ESP32 C6 with AHT20 and BMP280 sensors. Based on our tests, I highly recommend using the ESP32 C6 with the AHT20 for accurate and stable humidity readings. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more Home Assistant projects and ESP32 tutorials. See you in the next video.